Hi everyone. Today I want to talk to you about wanting to transition to a simple, healthy lifestyle and improvement style for myself. I want to address with you all that I do have a disability ever since I was born to currently, which is autism, including a learning disability along with a cognitive disability. Having it has always been a challenge for me because I struggle on comprehending and learning different advanced subjects at a certain pace. Sometimes it's hard for me to communicate my thoughts in different social settings or understand conversations or understand highly vocabulary words or social cues, and I get teased. For a very long time, including currently, I've always dealt with getting bullied by people, some of my friends, people I know, high educated people, people I work with, and people in general about me being disabled. I deal with they use anti-disability stigma, call me mean names, spit at me, and a lot of mean things. Um, and being bullied for a very long time concurrently has always been a big challenge for me. And it makes me sad, makes me depressed, makes me feel bad about myself, and it makes me not have enough friends or enough people who can appreciate me for trying my best to be a human being. Um, for about 12 years, including currently, I have worked in the food service industry where it is challenging, it's very fast paced, and it's not easy for me being disabled in a food service industry job because I struggle with multitasking in a fast paced environment. Sometimes it's hard for me to do tasks in a fast pace where people want me to go fast, even though I struggle with it. I deal with getting bullied in the workplace by coworkers. Sometimes people will hire up about me being disabled. They call me names. I get spit at. I deal with a lot of verbal harassment or a lot of anti-disability stigma, and it hits me hard. What my main job or task that I do in this type of industry is I mostly work on doing dishwashing. I make sure I stock clean dishes, clean silverware. I mop the floor and do other organizing tasks. Um, and trying to have a simple, healthy lifestyle or improvement of myself is never easy because I deal with getting bullied a lot by coworkers or people in general in the workplace about being disabled. I struggle with multitasking in a fast-paced environment, and there are no really good jobs for people with disabilities, and that's something I had to um, live with myself about having it. Having a disability and not be able to find a good job that be accommodating or that can people can understand me um, as that. So what I've been trying to do a lot is with improvements is I'm trying to work on expanding critical thinking skills. I work on paying attention to details, like for example, making sure when the dishes come out from the dish machine that they are clean, making sure we have enough plates or silverware that's ready to go during the rush. I try to pay attention to how other coworkers work to give myself a sense of idea and how to be creative at doing tasks, and I work on critical thinking skills as much as possible. But also, I try to have this ideology or philosophy of being a food service worker is trying to work as a team so we can get the job done and that we can all find ways of how everybody's different skills can be useful or beneficial during the job. And it's very challenging because even if I try my hardest to do good work, even if I might not be fast enough or if I have trouble doing all the skills, I still get bullied a lot and put down, which makes me upset. And all I can simply just do is try the best I can, but also try to improve my healthy lifestyle, which is try to get extra rest, try to eat small meals when I'm working or on my 30-minute lunch break, take my time on my 30-minute lunch break to like eat a light meal, go to the bathroom, get myself some water, try to breathe exercise, or sometimes sit to myself and pray a lot. Um, I am a Christian myself. I've always been a proud Christian my whole entire life, ever since I was born through currently. But it's always been a big challenge of me being Christian because I deal with the same thing like getting bullied, being spit at, people being mean at me, people using religion for bad politics as a way to justify hate against others, including people with disabilities, or against social justice policies, or people like to use Jesus' name for hateful things. And I've dealt a long time with people use religion as a way for to justify hate and bigotry against people with disabilities like me. I've dealt with being bullied a lot, where people use religion as a way to bully me, and it's been hurtful for me. So what I've been trying to do on this as a way to improve my healthy lifestyle, improve myself, and a simple lifestyle is I try to go on my own journey as an independent Christian. And so I want to tell you a little bit about what it means to be an independent Christian from my own definition. My own definition of being an independent Christian is I'm trying to find ways to work to improve or to expand on critical thinking skills, compassion, kindness, and understanding of others or other people who have struggled in life or make achievements, and to continue to follow God, including Jesus Christ's good philosophies on social justice, human rights, including the rights of the disabled, and trying to help others. And so that is what my main definition of being an independent Christian is. And so, also as an independent Christian myself, I try to do volunteering where I try to provide food or essential items to the homeless, the poor, the disabled, people struggling with debt or student loan debt or other things, or rather it's somebody who served our country, they came back, but they don't have help from the VA, or when the whole government system is broken, when people lost their access to food stamps, Medicaid, or if homeless shelters or food banks are not helping them. And so I try to do as a Christian myself is I try to pray for the people who are vulnerable, who are poor, disadvantaged, or disabled, or who struggle with debt or other health issues. And also, I try my hardest to provide food or essential items to these people who are in need. And I try to do this as a Christian way to help others, but also to be conscientious of thinking of others. Also, what I do as a Christian myself, I'm trying to work on with having a lifestyle and being simple is I'm trying to do more praying, where I try to pray on an everyday basis to God, including Jesus, where I try to explain them about my struggles, my challenges, on trying to be a better person, or try to tell them that hey, I'm a person who's disabled, but I keep struggling a lot, but I'm trying to do good. I'm trying to work hard, improve myself, to educate myself better, trying to volunteer, trying to be compassionate, understanding, and trying to pray to God and Jesus. I hope that you guys can look out for me and try to help put me on a good path when the world is filled with bigotry, including hate. And also with my prayer too is I try to pray for others who are people who struggle in life or who make achievements or people who I deeply care about or who I'm inspired by. But also I try to pray for a world to be a better place, a place where we don't have hate or bigotry, where we can protect our environment, and improve on social justice causes too. And I try to do more is listen to some gospel music where have the messages of life lesson messages about kindness, compassion, understanding, need to forgive, need to heal, need to remind each other that we all need to find ways to better improve ourselves to be better people. And so I do listen to gospel sometimes, and so I use that as a way to try to improve my lifestyle as a Christian and also as an independent Christian, again, in a world that's broken, that's filled with bigotry, including hate. And so, um, also with this, it's always been a very big challenge on me navigating being, dealing with being bullied, being spat at, dealing with people using hateful words or bigotry or people saying anti-disability stigma, and it's always been a hard thing, and I've always struggled with friendships. I struggle with maintaining them, making new friends, keeping them, um, and doing that. And so it's always been a hard challenge because I get bullied a lot. but also I've dealt hard experience with peers and my friends when would bully me, and then most of the friends, or supposedly my friends, wouldn't stand up for me. They join them, they make fun of me, they tease me and spit at me, say meaningful words. I've dealt a lot of times where a lot of people tell me that they don't like somebody with a disability, or that I'm stupid, I'm ugly, um, and they don't like people with disabilities and other meanness. And so, um, and even if I fail to meet the standards too, if I fail them to make them happy, they get mean to me, and they put a lot of blame on me. And so, also, I doubt a lot of times where they use meanness on social media platforms to spread bad rumors about me, make fun of me, tease me, and say hateful things, manipulate a picture of me to something that's inappropriate, to spread bad rumors about me as a way to make me feel bad. Also, I've always dealt hard challenges of navigating a society where there's a lot of women, including girls, because I deal with getting bullied by them, where they make fun of me. They for being disabled, they call me ugly, they call me fat ass, they say a lot of mean sexual harassment terms that are very uncomfortable or that make me feel bad. I also deal with getting spit at and or them spreading false rumors or bad rumors about me that aren't true, and it's been very hard dealing with this because there's been a lot of times I've had experiences where some women, including some girls, would kind of like try to flirt with me or supposedly flirt with me or try to say, hey, I want to get your phone number. I want to get your social media. I want to connect with you. I want to hang out with you. I want to catch up with you. I want to chat with you, and message me, call me or text me. And when I try to do the right things, it's always hard because I get ignored, I get bullied even further, I get made fun of. And so, and sometimes when some women, girls would want me to be emotional support for them, try and be kind, be a good listener to them, try to be respectful, but they're not respectful to me. They don't really appreciate me for trying my hardest. They don't want to listen to the good intentions that I'm doing, or the good interests I have, or the hobbies, or whenever I'm having a hard time. I always get put down. But also, I deal where a lot of times I always try my hardest to be a good friend or a good person to people, even though I do struggle with my disability. And to be honest, I'm a person that struggles a lot because with my disability, I have trouble understanding conversations, vocabulary usage. I have very difficulty organizing my thoughts and how I should say something in a text or messaging, or trying to understand what should I do if nobody responds to my message, even though I'm not trying to be bothering them or I'm not trying to be annoying people, because I do struggle with trying to process information about how do I say the right, how to ask the right question, and what should I say in a text. So it takes me a long time to text, because sometimes I have a habit of double messaging or double texting, because sometimes I struggle with trying to figure out what words to say. Like maybe like if someone asks me, hey, um, when do you want to hang out? I might say, well, like I might sometimes it may be short and answered, or sometimes too long because I'm not sure how to explain it. And so sometimes I have a habit of over texting or over messaging because I'm trying to figure out how to make my thoughts or how to make my response, how to make sense. And so, um, and also with my disability too, I can't meet other people's needs. Sometimes I'm not good looking like other people are. Maybe I'm not highly educated like other people are. Maybe I can't uh, do other activities with people. Maybe I can't do well in social events or crowded places. Maybe I can't do well in restaurants because I have stomach sensitivity. So I have a lot of challenges, and so that can really make other people unhappy, and that. So what I have been trying my hardest to do with a healthy lifestyle, improvements, and simple is I have been being distant from a lot of people. It has not. I'm not trying to be antisocial, but what it means to be distant from other people is I'm trying to figure out for myself is how do I continue to be a human being with a disability with good intentions in a society that's full of bigotry or hate, when I don't get appreciated by people, when people make fun of me for being disabled, when I get spit at, when I deal with women or girls using verbal sexual harassment terms or put me down, or when people try to say provoking things like "I wish you weren't alive," and that's a challenge too. And it's really hard is that with this thing is I'm trying to be understanding of people. I try my hardest to be a good friend of people. I try to listen to people. I try my hardest to figure out how I can communicate my thoughts better or to understand conversations better. I try to research about topics to understand what people are saying. I try practicing like vocabulary words, trying to understand what vocabulary means. I try to improve myself on messaging, try to make sure I feel how to make my message clear without too many words or without short words or try to improve myself with grammar. Um, and I try my best to be a good listener to people who struggle, but also give them good thoughts and positive vibes. So I try my hardest to be a good friend, even though I struggle. Also, what I do a lot is I journal a lot with myself. I deal with friendship struggles when people are mean to me, when I'm distant from other people. I try to do a lot of journaling where I try to journal my thoughts, my feelings, my concerns, how I feel, and the good intentions that I want to be, and how in my and try to have a vision for myself on trying to be a human being with a disability, but with good intentions, or wanting to prove myself for the better. And also, I try to work on writing my own video speeches and my speeches about myself as a human being, trying to do good things, even though I struggle with disability and when I deal with hate, to try to tell people that you shouldn't hate somebody for being disabled, but try to be compassionate, understanding of others, and try to understand me as a human being. And so, um, also, what I try to do a lot is go to like an autism support group where I try to talk to other people with my disability or a disability support group to understand other people who have struggles, but also have a chance to understand what other people are going through. So I try to go to like a support group for that. And so, and again, it's always hard to have a healthy lifestyle, or a simple lifestyle or improvement style when I deal with dealing with so much hate and being bullied and people being mean at me. And it makes me sad all the time, but I'm trying my best to be a human being, but also trying to for how to understand myself. Um, for for a very long time too, I've always done exercising a lot, and I've exercised in swim groups, social groups that do exercising, and I've dealt with a lot of hard challenges in doing that. With my disability, including my cognitive disability, I always struggle on um, exercising efficiently. I have trouble keeping up with other people when I exercise. Whenever I struggle with exercising, or if I can't do well in exercise with other people, I always been made fun of. Like I was being bullied by sometimes swim mates, sometimes people who exercise, sometimes people were like leaders of these exercising groups. They always call me fat ass, ugly, slowpoke, retard, and make mean comments saying you look out of shape, and sometimes get offended aggressive at me, and also like going to the gym is always hard because I deal with getting bullied by members of the gym about struggling with exercising, or if I take too long to do a workout, and so I get like spit at, bullied, vulgar language, and other forms of harassment like threatening to hit me, and so um, that's been very hard for me. But also, to mention is, I have hurt my body too, doing exercises too. Like, for example, when I was doing a lot of swim clubs and swim conditions, when I was doing weightlifting, I hurt my upper back and it really took me a long time in physical therapy to get better. Happened in high school and took me very, very long time for my body to recover. And so, and also I have, when I used to do the stairs machine to get exercise, I hurt my knees really bad. And it took me almost a long time for my knees to heal, for example, after doing this stair machine workout. And so, um, what I've been trying to do with simple, healthy lifestyle improvements for my myself a workout is I try to look at videos about how to do a workout to give myself a sense of idea of how to understand a workout, how to do it efficiently. Um, Also, what I try to do is work on improving dryland conditions like stretching, doing cool down, like maybe like after I swim like a 500, do a cool down of swimming to um, help relax my body. Also, like if I did some running, just do a short walk. And do some research about sports medicine, about how to heal your body after doing a workout. Also, I like to do is exercise my own pace where I can like jump up at an even pace or like go for a walk early in the morning or go to the gym early in the morning so won't have to worry about people bullying me or making fun of me. And and I have to try to remind myself again that it's okay to exercise at my own pace, but it's okay to find ways to improve yourself. And also, it's good to exercise to help improve mental health, but also to help improve my health in the long run. And and I have to remind myself that it's okay that I don't have to be perfect at exercising. Other people are, and so and that. Another thing that I have been trying to do is try to find a good balance of how to control myself from playing video games too long. I'm a person that loves to play video games. I like to play role playing games because I like to play an avatar where they can use critical thinking skills, interact with people, helping people, um, doing other things. And I like playing that because it helps um, me be able to do stuff when I can't really do stuff in the real world because I'm disabled or it's hard for me to have friends. So I turn to video games have role playing games and where you can have an avatar interact with NPCs doing different things. And so, but the thing that's been hard with video games is sometimes I play for too long because sometimes I'm trying to figure out how to complete this mission, how to complete this gameplay, how to complete this level, and I always get mentally stressed out a lot. And so sometimes I get overwhelmed, sometimes I get tired from trying to spend too long in the video game. And so what I try to do to improve myself with a simple, healthy lifestyle and improvement is I try to look on YouTube about walkthroughs about video games to understand how the game's being played, how the level works out, what different approaches you can do. I try to do is read a guidebook of a video game, even though it may be hard for me to read, but I try to use a guidebook and look at a YouTube video of a walkthrough to help me understand the gameplay where I can read the guidebook to make sure I can understand the level or to comprehend the game. And even if I play like a video game, I try to put a computer or iPad with the walkthrough of a video game next to me so I can watch it and play at the same time so I can understand it better. And I like to give myself breaks, like 3 minute break or an hour, 2 hours for video games as a way for me to not be so fully addicted to the video game, but also give myself a balance of relaxing, but also trying to find ways to understand the game better without being stressed out. Um, Another thing too that I'm trying to do more is do lots of writing because I've always liked writing when I was a kid. I always wanted to write my thoughts, my feelings, my concerns because it was always hard for me to communicate my thoughts, my concerns, and the good intentions that I have about trying to be a good human being because I always get unappreciated sometimes in the workplace or people or some of my friends or people I know. And also, the world is very complicated. And so, when it comes to writing pieces, I'm trying to do is talk to my computer where it records my thoughts, my concerns, my feelings, and myself trying to be a human being, but trying to understand the world as a way where I can easily understand my speech better to improve my words. But I try to do is edit the words, like retype, fix some of the sentences, and then read it out loud, and then do that. And so I try to do a lot more journaling to understand myself to be with a disability in a society that's broken, when people don't want to appreciate me the most or try to understand me as a good person. Um, and Also, I'm trying to do more is continuing to work on my letters to influential people that inspire me. Um, um, to learn more about the world or to understand different topics or to work hard in my disability or to improve myself. So I'm trying to work on writing more letters to influential people, including actors and actresses and that. And so, um, Also I'm trying to do more is writing about myself on wanting to have a vision for a world to be a better place. And so I've always struggled with comprehending on materials, whether it's through going through public schools, through community college, or life in general. I've always had struggles on comprehending and learning different advanced subjects at a certain pace. I had struggled with understanding vocabulary, understanding material. I have trouble with reading words because I get disorganized when trying to read a book or something. And so that is always a big challenge for me. And so we're trying to improve um, on a healthy lifestyle or improvements or simple is I tried to highlight on my computer or iPad a text of an article or like something like on Wikipedia to help it read back to me so I can understand what the words are saying. I try to listen to audiobooks. There are two books to help me understand what the book's about or to help give me a visual sense of idea of what the book is about, what the author's intention is. I do research on YouTube about the author of the book to help give me a mental note on what the book's about again and what the author is so I can have a sense of idea of what they're saying. I watch documentaries, talk shows, some new current events that focus on history and social justice with closed captions, including subtitles, to help me process information, to help me comprehend the materials, to help me with understanding material better. And Also, I do is I take modules about diversity, equity, inclusion, including understanding about the Me Too movement, how to reduce harassment, how to reduce bullying in society, or modules about how to reduce racism, or modules about social justice as a way to try to educate myself about how to navigate a society that's broken as a person with a disability, but as somebody who wants to try to be a better person in a society. And so I try doing all these things as a way to teach myself for the better, to educate myself about the issues that we face, to be motivated to learn history, including historical figures, and to understand what the world, to how to navigate the world when it is broken, or it's full of bigotry or hate, or when issues are dividing our society. And so that's what I've been trying to do as a way to try and improve myself to be better, but also try to help me be able to navigate different challenges and to be engaged in understanding people, understanding topics, or to understand where people are coming from, or to understand cultures and that. So um, that. Also, what I've been going through a lot of transition is I've been seeing too much um, news, too much crime drama or TV shows or movies that portray people with disabilities in a very bad stereotypical way, including people with autism spectrum too, where they try to portray them as bad people, lazy, or doing bad things. And it has made me very, very uncomfortable because when other people, including some of my friends or highly educated people or people in general, see this type of thing on TV, whether it's through social media influencers, news, or TV shows and movies that do this stuff, they believe in that stuff. They like to say hateful things or bully me or use anti-disability stigma, and it makes me very uncomfortable. And so the thing that's been very hard about this is I've always admired actors and actresses for a very long time because I like how they do character development, how they're very active on supporting the disability community. But I just don't like the writing in general where they try to portray people with disabilities in a bad way or when they have a lot of dark themes. And so what I've been trying to do more is watching different talk shows like Tim and Hall, Jerry Springer, Maury Povich, Steve Wilkos, just for fun or to understand different topics or understand life or lifestyle. Sometimes I might watch Live with Kelly and Mark. And also, I like to watch like kid cartoon shows like The Weekenders, Recess, Doug, Justice League, Batman, Superman, cartoons of Barbie, and many other kid cartoon shows because I like the messages about kindness, compassion, the creativity of working as a team, learning about each other, how to be better people, and just also the sense of humor. And so, and also I'm trying to transition to watching more old TV shows way before I was born, like really old shows like Knots Landing, Charlie's Angel, Mannix, Quincy M.E., Night Court, Cheers, um, and many other old classic TV shows like Knight Rider, Baywatch. Um, as a way for me, including like Strong Medicine and The Division and Missing, because I really like the shows about wanting to help people, the character development, want to improve themselves to be better people, working critical thinking skills. Um, and I really like the character development from these shows and also like how they want to help other people, whether it's people with disabilities, and they don't stereotype people with disabilities in a bad way. And so, and also I like to watch soap operas too, once in a while, like Young and the Restless, some of the old soap operas like um, Sunset Beach, Hospital, One Life to Live, All My Children, because I like to see how different people interact with each other, learn about the characters too. And so I'm trying to transition to more of that as a way to help me um, cope with the fact that I shouldn't feel bad about being disabled when many modern or other shows or movies portray people with disabilities in a bad way too. And also, I'm trying to do more is watching like um, fun movies like James Bond, like the Roger Moore, the Sean Connery version, Timothy Dalton, and Pierce Bronson type. I try to watch like comedy movies or sometimes um, like Disney movies a lot because I really like Disney movies and how they have some messages, life lesson messages that really hits me the most and helps me be able to relate to some of the Disney characters like Mulan, Woody from Toy Story, Cinderella from Cinderella, and many other Disney movies that I feel enjoyment of doing. And so, um, also, I'm trying to do more, and my most goals that I really want to do more is I want to solo travel a lot because for a very long time I've always been curious about exploring places. I like Los Angeles, I like Philadelphia, I like DC, I like Minneapolis, Minnesota. And so I want to continue to work on a goal of doing solo travel to more of those places because I really enjoy exploring the area, the sites, having a fun time, giving myself grace to remind myself that it's okay for me to remind myself that I'm just a human being with a disability, but it's okay to enjoy some of the enjoy yourself, enjoying things, but also to find where public transportation is. Like you can use a metro, or you can use a bus, or you can use an Uber to get you to places. Because I do struggle with driving due to my disability, and I have challenges traveling to places where there's not enough public transportation. So I want to work on a goal I can travel to places that have access to public transportation or places that I feel comfortable in traveling. And so, um, and also, and I've always, my other goals basically is to continue being an independent Christian with good principles. And also for me to try to continue to work on journaling my thoughts, my concerns, my feelings, and my vision because I'm trying to understand myself to be a better person. I want to work on doing more writing pieces. I want to continue to have the passion of liking history, including social justice, without dealing with hate, including me advocating for the good social justice policies or good ideals instead of dealing with hate from other people. Um, and I do hope in a long near future that there could be more people who can be kinder, understanding, and appreciate me for trying my hardest to be a human being, who's with a disability, who's trying to do good things, good intentions, trying to improve myself, because I'm always dealing with the feeling bad about being hated for being disabled, being teased, being spit at, being made fun of, people acting like they want to be my friends, but they don't want to be my friends. They don't want to listen to me or validate me or appreciate me, or they get mean at me, or they ghost me, or they make fun of me and they say a lot of mean things. And so, um, that is basically what I'm trying to do, is to understand myself as a better person. But also, I forgot to mention is another thing too that I struggle the most is social media platforms. Social media platforms have been present for a very long time. I do have a social media account, but it's always a hard challenge of doing social media because I deal with getting bullied by people who I'm connected with. I get made fun of for being disabled, or I'm trying to be creative in what I post, something that's positive, trying to understand life. I deal where people like to compare about how many friends, how many people they connect with, how they're better than me, or sometimes how many likes they get, they're better than me. I deal with being ghosted on social media platforms when people say, hey, connect with me, message me, or I want to chat with you, or hang out with you, or use it as a way for bad rumors. So I'm trying to do more with this lifestyle, including healthy lifestyle improvement. And simple is I'm trying to do is work on giving myself social media breaks, where I take a break from posting for a while until I try to figure out when should I post, or how do I feel about posting. Um, and I try to also do is, if I want to post something, I try to be creative with how I post. Like sometimes I won't post a picture of myself all the time because I want to protect myself from my picture of myself from being manipulated to something that isn't true or is used for bad rumors. I usually post like an object. Maybe I traveled here, or take a picture of me with a different object as a way to protect myself from be used for bad rumors. And I try to be very mindful of other people too, because like on social media, there's people that can post about sadness, about achievements, or doing something good, and sometimes I really want to be extremely mindful of others. So I don't want to put a post when they're posting something about that, because I always feel bad about if I post something, it would make them not get much attention. So I always try to be mindful of others. Um, I try to do is create a time limit schedule, where I tell myself, okay, maybe you should spend less than 15 minutes on social media per day. Maybe you should um, reduce how much you scroll. Um, um, Create a 3-minute break from looking at your phone with social media. And also try to be creative on how to connect with people too. So I tried my really, really hardest to try to say, I can connect with you phone, email, text, or WhatsApp. But a lot of times, a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't want to communicate with that way. So sometimes people get mad about that, and it's a big challenge. Because I'd always try to be open, honest with people, saying, hey, social media makes me uncomfortable. I don't feel comfortable using social media. Social media is hard for me to communicate with people. It's hard when I message people, but they don't get back to me. I prefer using phone, text, email, WhatsApp as a way for form of communication, where it's much easier for me. Much as I try to be open, honest with people about my concerns, I still get bullied even further, and people get mean at me. And and that's very hard. And all I can simply just do is try to um, take breaks from social media, try to be very careful about what I post, make sure I don't post too many pictures of myself to protect myself from being used in a bad rumor, try to take as many breaks from social media as possible, try to work on journaling my thoughts again, and if I really want to post something on social media after taking a long break, I can try to figure out how to address it better. I to address to people like why I wasn't on social media. I might say like I took a long time to try to understand myself. I had challenges. I'm trying to learn better, and here's the things that I try to do better in the long run. Um, I know this video is very difficult because I feel kind of disorganized and trying to explain about trying to go for a simple, healthy lifestyle and improvements of myself because I deal with so many challenges with my disability. Sometimes I spend time trying to figure out what to say, how do I improve myself better, what strategies do I do in the long run. And so I hope many of you take the time to understand me as a human being with a disability. I'm trying to do good things, but trying to work hard in life and trying to navigate a society that's spoken with filled with bigotry and green hate. And when people don't treat me well and don't respect me, when people bully me, and when I don't have enough friends, or when it's hard for me to have a connection with a woman or a girl just because I have a disability. So, thanks for taking the time to listen to my short thing. I hope many of you can continue to um, understand me as a human being with good intentions, who wants to do good things in life, who wants to improve myself in the long run, but who simply is just a human being in a society that is broken or is filled with bigotry, including hate. So I hope many of you can understand me.